Hello everyone! Well, welcome to a new Kerbal video! And this time round, we're gonna have to do something which, as the title made it show, we're not gonna hit Kerbal, we're gonna head straight out for the moon. If you're too lazy to hit Kerbal orbit, or if you're just like, oh, I cannot do that, or just like, screw orbit, let's go straight to the moon. So, we have an early tech rocket, which has just lifted off from KSC. Currently climbing towards the moon. Now you see the moon being aligned, well, let's say 1 o'clock or something, 2 o'clock possibly, well, I think 1 o'clock. And we're gonna try to fly to the moon. Now you might also have noticed that the music of the game has been edited. Oh, and also some display glitches apparently there. Anyways, so we edited the game music, well, I don't hope some copyright fags will complain about it, and if they do, they may stick their complaints as always up their silly ass. Because most times I've just appealed those blockades because they're illegal in Europe, actually. So, well, you might be asking, why is that illegal? Well, there's been European court verdicts which say that free speech is more important than copyright fagging. So, considering that, their complaints are bullshit because I violate my free speech to just broadcast game material and just talk bullshit in background of them like I'm doing now. So, well, now we have that out of the door. This thing is still taking off. It's taking off really fast. We're just pulling full throttle. The rocket had a takeoff about 8k delta V, just a little bit more. But yeah, so we're gonna reach the moon. We're gonna try to land on it and hopefully not explode. Gonna try to get back to Kerbin, have enough delta V to return. That's also a challenge. And actually land safely at Kerbin without too much efficiency and slowdown or whatever. And hopefully not explode in the air or not explode on touchdown, which in the previous mission happened. I completed it successfully, landed. And then I was like, oh, my rocket is flipped upside down, so let's flip it the right way. We have enough SAS control. Well, it made a weird bounce and suddenly it hit the ground again. Well, clearly there's some really rendering issues there. Have to look into my settings and configurations. Well, I'm gonna spew out some crew report now. We hit the 240 mark, so we are in high altitude. Also, in case we do not land, so if we have trouble or if we point it too far down, then we will not go to space today, but well, let's hope. So right now we're gonna go and head for the encounter with the moon, so you see me slowing down. So there we go. We're gonna try to shove it really close to the moon because it will lessen the amount of delta V needed to reach orbit. And why is that? Lower orbits, we travel faster. So, and we come in at quite a high speed, so you might guess that our goal is actually to reach the lowest possible orbital altitude around the moon. So right now we're burning our fuel and trying to reach that nice and stable orbit. So, now we're heading towards this nice location here, which is pretty much in lunar orbit. We are trying to get an orbit circularized, something, well, we said of course Kerbin orbits are for noobs. Well, our goal is to reach a moon without hitting Kerbin orbit first, which is in my opinion really delta V inefficient, but actually this is very delta V inefficient because it's an incredibly aggressive burn we did here. Anyways, we hit the moon and we're gonna try to knock it into an orbit around the moon, this little rocket. So right now we've been traveling for about 2 or 3 hours-ish in game, which is quite short for a lunar mission. Usually the transit takes 6 hours if you do it efficiently. So yes, this is inefficient, but it's fucking awesome, so who cares? We have the delta V needed for it, and this rocket only cost 40k to construct, even with all the science equipment on it, gigantic solar panels and whatever. We are about to hit a decent orbit here, and yeah, so anyways, the construction of the rocket was actually quite a lot like the Delta IV Heavy of the Orion launch, because you see that main thruster we're now using, that long white thing there, it had two of the same to the side, so to add enough delta V to make it reach this quite good orbit. And at the early takeoff it had two solid booster rockets next to it, which made it look like an oversized Delta 4 Heavy. Well, anyways. So here we're going to commence the burn for circularizing around the moon. And I hope to be able to touch down quickly, because my goal is to return to Kerbin in the shortest time possible, which is hopefully under 12 hours. Which would make it quite awesomely short for a lunar mission. Anyways, here we go. We slow down, we've entered in circular orbit, and I'm like, okay, let's go look for a nice landing site. Hopefully in one of the craters, but yeah, first let's get us some more science. Well, actually get it on the standby in case we do not land, in case we go from abort, but right now we got plenty of Delta V for a really aggressive landing still, so yeah, of course, also grab that nice EVA stuff. So anyways, so right now also transferring the reports over by EVA, and you know why? Because crew reports, you can take multiple crew reports without having to broadcast shit back home, which is in this case a bit hard, and it was too expensive to shove a fucking transmitter on it. So right now we're about to land. Oh, by the way, the music you hear is actually concept music for Infinity, the Quest for Earth. So this might be a little bit a lesser well-known song for game OST. Also, Kerbin nicely in the background, almost a pale blue dot picture, except that Kerbin is here way bigger than Earth is on the pale blue dot picture. So you also have noticed some Anno 2070 music in it, some Two Steps from Hell, and there's some more in it which you will hear along the way. So yeah, this is Anno 2070 music. So right now we are going in for landing at the crater. I think it's the far east side crater or something. Regardless, we're going in and we're plotting a quite steep landing approach because we want as little horizontal delta V as possible. And why should we kill our horizontal velocity when we can let gravity do most of the work for it? Well, actually, we still have to kill it, but you get the idea. Anyways, let's go for landing. So, yeah, put on your seatbelts, hold on tight, and hope we won't explode. Now, with the landing approach well on the way, as you can see, the plan is actually to cut velocity when we are quite low above the ground in a very aggressive burn. So it will lessen our requirement to counter gravity, and well, because we spend less time here. Now, the thing is that yeah, you might have noticed that we have about a little above 2k delta V left right now in this situation, which is actually plenty to return to Kerbin. You need about, after takeoff, about 600 delta V to get safely back to Kerbin, and in a less safe manner you might need less, which includes an auto-raised use of EVA propellant for pushing the capsule into Kerbin orbit and then pushing it towards the surface. It is possible, it is done, and well, even Rob has used it, and even Scott Manley used it, so why the fuck would I not? But we have enough delta V right now, so we will just simply go for the standard operational maneuver here. Now, coming in, 20k to go, 19k, 18k. We're coming in quite fast, so we're gonna commence aggressive kill burn already. We're still quite high up, but we don't want to be coming in too fast, or it might be getting unmanageable to kill the velocity in time. We're gonna burn this stage first, so let's jettison it. Also, this mission will leave no space debris behind because, well, quite simply, it's because, well, that is gonna smash a lunar surface and all the other parts smash back into Kerbin or safely landed. We had parachutes on them. So most of them landed safely except two, which got damaged anyways on liftoff because of aerodynamic yeah, they broke due to aerodynamics, and you might see the mods I'm using. You might have noticed a few Kerbal Engineer, Alarm Clock, Farum Aerospace a bit, these standard ones. Might have also noticed these solar panels, and well, also those little white things on my capsule. Well, those little white things are air brakes, and if you're coming in hot from a high orbit and want to get without a slowdown burn on Kerbin, you use those little buddies because they seem to be not taking that much brunt of the inferno from heat. Most is taken by the heat shield, and they will still slow down your craft, even almost so much that your Kerbals will die because of G-forces, because of the slowdowns. That's how good they work. So anyone who has a B9 aerospace pack, if you don't know yet, they are piss cheap, and stick them on your little capsules to prevent your, prevent your Kerbals or your awesome Jebediah from dying. Yeah, and Jebediah is awesome, so, well, so you have to mention him separately from the rest to give him proper recognition. So we're coming in a final landing approach, about 3k right now above the surface. So right now we are coming in real well, and I think this is gonna be one of my most accurate landings, which is just totally done by eyeballing things. And yeah, it's actually, usually in the past I used to use MechJeb for maneuvers and stuff, but right now, yeah, of course, reaching the moon is not difficult at all, even as a newbie, but still, it's really something. Yeah, I would say we're getting along good here. We're going in for the landing, and I think it's gonna go well. So I think no terminal lit a break yet, or possibly not today. Anyways, there's plenty of fuel left and there's plenty of stuff left, so we're gonna slow the craft down to a really low speed so we hit it quite assuredly in the correct manner. Now with touchdown almost completing, so we are gonna really slow down to crawl and make it land hopefully entirely intact, because I wouldn't like it to be in pieces suddenly on the surface. Anyways, we're coming down now. It's really looking well. I'm really pleased with this. So this is really hitting orbit is for noobs thing. So, well, let's finish the touchdown and grab the signs and go back home. Anyways, for people who have been wondering, what some people noticed I've been using as accreditation in my videos for my own stuff. Usually lately I've been using Christian instead of Durbeck 007 or Roberto in the past. It's actually well, some people ask me about it, and well, it's quite simple. I'm in a transgender process still, and it's still gonna take years at this point, but it's coming along. There's been a long time for years that people try to stop it, but I've got my own life and I make my own choices. I take consequences for those choices, and yes, those consequences can be that some people don't like it and break up contact or whatever. But yeah, those people are not going to change my choice in any way whatsoever, and I have to understand that. And also, it's something I've been actually wanting to do for years. I've been planning this since 2007, so it's... I tried to talk back then about it, noticed that it wasn't really possible to talk about it, and so I waited till I lived in my own apartment, and yeah, then there's always, then you got the room to do things you like to do, the things, yeah, without having to, well, without being obliged to have anyone's permission or whatever, or without anyone being able to pressure you into not doing it by having some leverage upon you. Anyways, so I'm still in the process. That's why, yeah, so you already know why the accreditation has changed, and I'm not gonna change my old videos now, even though I disliked the name used back then. I'm not gonna change it. It's something which anyways cannot be erased on the interwebs. Anyways, we made good landing, get it assigned, so we're gonna plant the awesome flag we have, and well, let's get to head back home. So well, actually, it's quite funny because there was Ernie's ducky toy was on the Orion, so the bird picture is actually quite intentional for this. Anyways, we're gonna try to... Yes, also was some other music. It was from Orchidea, I think. It's a remix. So, anyways, yes, also I can, if people want, I can just show a short picture of my corner of the video here. So, anyways, well, let's go and head back home. Anyways, I guess it's time to head back home. So, we want to head back to Kerbin, of course. So where's Kerbin on the sky? I'm not seeing it right now because it's behind the crater wall. So, let's just burn up to about 30k and get heading home. So, yeah, anyways, not seeing Kerbin just yet. So, let's keep an eye on things. Yeah, it's not up there. So let's keep looking and looking and looking, and hopefully we see it somewhere on the sky approaching. So we got the altitude, there's Kerbin in that direction. So yeah, well, we don't exactly know where it's located right now. It should be visible. Yeah, there it is. So let's try to align towards it. And that's the wrong way. Let's turn around. Oh, I sometimes love these alignment things. So anyways, let's get heading that way and just burn towards it. We will get there when we keep burning towards it. We should actually get there. We have plenty of Delta V left, so let's get a big burn going there. Don't plan anything, just eyeball things and go for it. We should be aiming straight for it. So right now we're trying to return to Kerbin. Anyways, yeah. So we got the signs, we got everything we need. We might be grabbing some more EVA signs while on the way to the transfer to Kerbin. So yeah. Well, anyways, let's see how long the mission will have taken by the end when we have landed on Kerbin itself. So let's also try to get some more signs in, and yeah, we got a crew report extra. So oh nice, it's actually flipping around. So it means we hit orbit, so now we just gotta keep burning towards Kerbin. We actually changed a bit our course to, well, to make sure we don't hit the lunar surface because we're dropping altitude. So, okay, we just noticed some change, so it might be that we're gonna exit. Yeah, so, but it's not suitable yet, so let's continue burning. Burn, 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 until we hit our intended exit course. So we get a low apoapsis now, so that means a little burn, or low periapsis I meant. So let's leave the lunar orbit and grab some signs first. Yeah, grab some signs first. So we'll leave lunar orbit and have all the signs we want. So we're gonna grab and store this stuff. We also might, because yeah, the lower rocket will burn up in the atmosphere most likely, so we are gonna try to acquire those last bits of science even from those little mystery goo experiments. So yeah. So right now we're working on those and yeah, store them. I'm just doubting, shall we try to grab the or a mystery goo container too? Well, I don't see objections, so let's do it. Grab that one too. So, and also, yeah, still same biome. Should be soon hitting high altitude science stuff, so here we go, grab that, and hop back on, please store it, so now get back in and let's return to Kerbin. Let's continue our return here. So let's make it accelerate right past it and make it reach Kerbin return. So we want to have one last maneuver here, an aggressive maneuver to actually, so I'm planning this one actually, but not really in the right way, only to know which direction I should point my rocket to. In hindsight, I could have actually just looked at Kerbin and aimed it in the right direction towards Kerbin, because burning in that direction, of course, towards Kerbin, makes the orbit align more towards it. So yeah, so I just want to look at how my periapsis will change. We want to hit 30k periapsis. That's, I think, the optimum case, because if we go in deeper, the rocket will burn up and we will not go to Kerbin surface today. So right now we want to leave space, but not too hard. So burning up would be really, well, of course you would enjoy exploding things, and yeah, we got plenty of exploding things still, so, but we also want our science, our awesome science which we have on board. And by the looks of it, I was trying to look here, because it looked that we're gonna pass over KSC, which means that we can simply beam back a part of the science, and then just you can see how much of the rocket will burn up on a steep descent. So we have comlink there, we run another crew report there, and go transmit almost everything back. So we transmit our little, well, here we go. Everything which does deliver optimum with transmitting, or at least doesn't have loss with it, is transmitted back home. We have plenty of battery charge for it on this craft, so we don't have to worry about such silly things as running out of power. So we can keep running those reports and actually finish that part up entirely as we want it. So right, here we commence our return. There's only one gimmick trick which the Kerbal now has to pull off before we fully re-enter, and that's one last thing. We want the Kerbal to grab some higher atmosphere EVAs. Well, right now we're flying straight over KSC. So, and we're coming in real fast, 30k-ish. So here we go, let's decelerate and eventually try to ditch that last stage here. So there's a little delta V on it. Well, let's not ditch it. We want explosions, so let's not ditch it and actually keep it stuck on as a fucking big massive heat shield. Anyways, yeah, we left orbit definitely now, so there's no chance of return now because we spent our last delta V's unless we use Kerbal capsule pushing, which would not be really a good idea right now considering we're dropping altitude real fast now. So let's transmit it home as long as our transmitter lasts and yeah, finish this return up. So checking if there's signs to make with crew reports here. Nope, we already got that. So let's continue our return, and yeah, we're hitting 40k here, so there's overheating effect starting because air pressure is starting to pick up. We're not deploying our air brakes yet, so anyways, let's see what's going to go overheating. And those are looking quite hot already. The landing gear will anyways overheat, that solar panel will definitely overheat, so let's see. And actually it looks like we get the first exploding parts coming now. There's some stuff really heating up. Well, the air brakes are definitely not showing any signs of heating up. Oh wow, there's the first things coming. What will explode? What will explode? Looks like we lost some landing gear, I think. Yeah, landing gear. No, it's all landing gear salon. Okay, engine's starting to burn, so that might be landing gear going boom. Yeah, there it went. Or it might have been one of the electrical batteries at the bottom which has exploded. Well, that's the solar panel exploding there. The top one's still alive somehow. Well, of course has to do with alignment. Well, I hope once if the rocket engine would burn up, we would be losing the rocket and then we would lose the rest of this part too. So if you want more explodes, let's hope for that. Anyways, we're coming in real fast, 20k. Might go and deploy our air brake soon if the heat drops off the engine, because then we know we're safely and it's dropping off. So we made re-entry properly. So I think it might be soon a good idea to slap on those brakes to get us into safe velocities for activating our parachute. So yeah, temperature is clearly dropping off the engine, so I think it makes little sense now to try to explode things, even if the temperature ranges are still sufficient to explode things. So that engine is doing a really good job at being a heat shield actually, so well, let's slap it on. Oh fuck, G-force is rising, it's now 7ish, maybe 8. It's getting close to dangerous range, but luckily they drop off again, so well, we ditched quite a lot of velocity already, so that's good. So I think soon we're gonna ditch the bottom stages of the rocket, even though we could keep them on and use them as an extra heat shield. So there we go, ditching that. And let's return to Kerbin and finish this mission up. So finishing this up is gonna take a short time and well. So I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope you will, well, if you like this, let me know that you want to see more of this stuff or possibly even a Kerbal series if you like. There's quite an interesting mod set on this. I didn't stick things like Interstellar on it, partially because Scott Manley, of course, made a series on that, which has been quite extensive, but also because all those warp drive stuff and everything is all awesome, but it's maybe a bit too awesome and too much out of the world things than just simple rocket stages exploding because of wrong engineering, because dumb fuck like me with no engineering skills in rocketry designed all that stuff. Anyways, so now we're returning. And well, I think one of the first things I'm going to do after finishing this is actually going to look at my settings and see what is causing the problem. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this and hope to see you soon. And if you like this, click the like button please, so I can see which videos are liked best. And yeah, well, feel free to share this along. So I hope you enjoyed and see you next time.